Hello, Bill Pollock here at Faroe Field. 6-2 is the halftime score. The offense not doing much at all for Mizzou, and I'm a little disappointed by that because I thought we would have seen a much better game today. Matty Mock, 9 of 15, 52 yards. Drew Lock came in for one series. He was 3 of 3 for 24. And right at the end of the half, Mizzou, after a 32-yard punt, had the ball at the UConn 47. And Mock ran out of bounds, a loss of 2 yards, threw a couple of incomplete passes, and you started to hear boos, and people want to start that quarterback controversy. But the gentleman to my left, Mike Reeves, who you'll see on the postgame, and if he wants to slide in here a little bit, I don't know, let's see if we can get you in here at all. But I thought you said it perfect to me here. Can you squeeze in? There he is. There's old Mike Reeves. I think you said it perfect. We may not necessarily have a quarterback controversy on our hands, but we have what?
We have a receiver situation. Who is anybody going to throw to? It's 3 games in, and Bill, there's no separation from the receivers. I mean, there's not been I can't think of any balls that I've seen yet that have been, oh, wow, there's the wide open guy and he was missed. I'm starting to wonder, are the receivers of the quality that it's going to matter who the quarterback is? I guess the argument could be, okay, at least give it a shot and see if it's going to make a difference. But I think the offense has some major issues across the board, and I don't know that you can lay it in the lap of one guy at this point.
Well, some of you following me on Twitter said, well, yeah, but look at Mizzou, though. They, 3 completions by Drew Lock. They moved the ball. They got into field goal range, which Andrew Baggett missed a 40-yarder, and you can't do that. But my argument to that would be those passes were off into the flat, and UConn has been giving that pass to Mizzou all day. And Matty Mock has had that pass as well. And you'll remember early in the game, Chase Abington dropped one of Matty Mock's passes that were out there. He was wide open. So at this point, I'm not ready to pin this on Matty Mock. And I'll go back to his interception as well. I think he telegraphed that pass to Sean Culkin. But when I watched the replay, what I saw was a very lazy tight end, and Culkin not coming to the ball, didn't do much to come back to it. And that ball was basically floating out. There was at least a 25-yard pass. And the deep defensive back, the safety that was back there, timed it perfect, read it, had plenty of time to move to the ball. Culkin didn't do much to create some separation or to at least try to block that defensive back. So I don't know if you can necessarily pin all of that on Mock either.
I don't think you can, and I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, let's absolve him of all of the blame for what's happened with the offense earlier. I'm not going to do that either. He hasn't played real well. He hasn't thrown the ball as crisp as I think that we'd like to see, but I'm just not ready yet to say, okay, a different quarterback in this team scoring 35 points a game. I'm not ready to go there yet, and if they eventually make that move and they start to roll and things start to happen, then we can go back and revisit this, and I'd be the first to own up to being wrong. But I think that there's more issues going on right now than just Matty Mock's at quarterback. We'll see how it plays out as the rest of this game and the season progresses.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some issues with this offense. And somebody else just tweeted me and said, well, maybe Mizzou's depth will wear down UConn in the second half like they did at Arkansas State. Yeah, that's great. But you know what? You can't play that way in the SEC because your depth is not going to wear down an SEC team. So you better figure something out quick and get it corrected.
And I think that's what you got to look at, too, is what's coming up in conference play. They built a schedule that they felt they should be 3-0 at the end of it. Now that's going to be tough given what they have facing them here in the second half. No need to throw this game away yet, but there's a lot to be worked on, and it's got to happen quick because once conference play starts, I don't care if they're playing teams that are supposedly down in the conference. It's the SEC. You better be ready to play, and lots of things to be resolved, lots of things to be worked on. I'm just curious to see how they respond in the second half here after what we saw at Jonesboro. They weren't real good in the first half there. They found a way. They need to find a way here today, or about 65,000 people are going to be really upset by the end of the game.
6-2 is the halftime score. You can join us on Twitter at Missouri Sports, MissouriNet.com for updates, and we'll try to get this guy back with us when we talk this over at the end of the game as well. 6-2 halftime score from Faroe Field. Bill Pollock along with Mike Reeves here at Missouri Net. Thanks for watching.